White. Winter is coming. White snowflakes flying all over the sky. In a small kingdom, a lovely princess was born. His hair was jet black. Skin as white as snow. So the queen named him Snow White. Soon the queen fell ill and died. The king married another queen. The new queen is beautiful, but like jealousy and vicious. He has a magic mirror. Every time I look in the mirror, he always asks, "Mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful woman in the country?" The mirror answered immediately, "Queen, you are the most beautiful woman in the country." The queen was satisfied because he knows the mirror never lies. The days are passing by. Snow White grew up day by day. The longer, the more beautiful. One day, the queen took the mirror as usual and asked, "Who is the most beautiful woman in the country?" Mirror answer, "You are the most beautiful in this room, but Snow White is 1,000 times more beautiful than you." The queen listened. She was furious. He immediately called a hunter. "Tell them to kill Snow White." Hunters can't bear it. "Take Snow White to the forest. Tell him, 'Poor girl, the queen wants to kill you. Run away.'" So Snow White escaped. He walked alone in the forest, so scared. In the evening, he saw a small house. I walked in. Small house with small table and small bed. Snow White is exhausted. I fell asleep on the cot. The master returned at night. They are the 7 good-hearted dwarfs. They lit little lights, and they found Snow White sleeping. I couldn't help screaming, "God, there is such a beautiful girl in the world." Snow White wakes up in the morning, saw 7 dwarfs. Startled, the dwarfs asked kindly, "What's your name? Where do you come from?" The princess told them what had happened to her. The dwarfs felt sorry for him. Just keep him. Come down and help them with the housework. They get along very well. The queen thought Snow White was dead. Ask the magic mirror again. Who is the most beautiful woman in the country? You are the most beautiful in the palace, but with the 7 dwarfs, Snow White is 1,000 times more beautiful than you. The queen was furious. He decides to kill Snow White with his own hands. He made a poisoned apple. Pretend to be a farmer. Come knock on the dwarf's door. Give the apple to Snow White? Snow White likes red apples. Just sucked it. But he only took one bite. Fell to the ground. Went. The 7 dwarfs come home. Saw Snow White die. So sad. They cried for 3 days and nights. Put Snow White in a glass coffin. Lift up the mountain. Take turns waking for him. In the blink of an eye, 10 years have passed. One day a prince passed by here. Saw Snow White in a glass coffin. Snow White, still as beautiful as when I was alive. Long hair is black and bright. His face is white and red. The prince was charmed by Snow White. He cried and begged the 7 dwarfs. Give me Snow White. I can't live without her. I want to protect her like I protect my eyes. The dwarfs saw that the prince was sincere. And I agreed. The prince asked someone to lift the coffin. Unexpectedly, when the servants carried the coffin, accidentally hit a tree. Snow White is shocked. The little piece of poisoned apple in his mouth fell out. Just at this time, and something happened. Snow White opens her eyes and comes back to life. Later, Snow White and the prince held a grand wedding ceremony. The evil queen also received an invitation. Enter the palace. Recognize the bride as yourself. Attempted to kill Snow White. Scream in fright. Passed out. Then he fled into the big forest. Never come out again. What about Snow White and the prince? were together, they loved each other, living happily